both tapings going on. I have in CCC Confer and I have in my computer. So for my computer, I will upload in a YouTube video, and you guys can review later. So let me also open the course, and then you can get ready to ask questions if you have any. Okay, now I have the course there. Today is the 6th. Pattern in the sky. All right. And let me also share my desktop. Should be able to see the desktop right now. And just because you might ask, let me bring the Starry Night software in perspective. Okay, I think we are good to go. So you right now you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see a landscape with the sun in the middle. And you should be able to see also the Moodle course. So today is January 6th, so you guys should be focusing on chapter 2. So how's everything going?
You want to say first one?
Yeah, everything's going good. I've been working on chapter 1 for the last. So far, what I've done is your notes and the homework. Does that sound about right? Is there to this point?
Yeah, that should be. And did you start your Astro discussion?
Not yet. I wasn't sure if I had this week's assignments first before doing that, or if I could start in it now.
Well, it's good to go. For instance, let me see here. Because see, I haven't read those yet, but look at this. Some of them.
Some people already turned it in.
Oh yeah. See, I did some reading and I put my comments. Can you see that?
Okay.
And I give it, and I have graded too. So 6 out of 10, and so on and so on. So
I did it. So I should submit and receive your comment.
Oh, where are you? Did I grade yours already?
No, I haven't submitted yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice to submit because if the grade is not good, you can improve it, and you can work towards improvement. So yeah, today I will read those new posts and I will grade them, and I will have the students know what's going on. I mean, the more you discuss, the more chances you have to improve your grade on Astro discussion. And Astro discussion is 10% of your course grade, so it's important that you can get that done.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, is it just something kind of off the top of your head for this particular subject?
Not really, because it's about astrology, right? So then I have some general kind of a seed so that you can start writing about it. But the main point is to keep on focus the scientific method. So when you think about astrology, that is well, in 3,000 years ago, it was a belief system that declared that planets' position in the sky and the stars in the sky, they would be responsible for guiding your life and to give characteristics or personal characteristics to people depending on the day they were born. So in those days, planets and stars were thought to be gods, with some specific characteristics, and depend on their position in the sky, these characteristics would be imprinted on the newborn. So this is pretty much 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. But when you open your eyes and you look around, astrology is pretty much alive, and so the question is astrology today a religion? Which means, what is a religion? Well, a religion in general, in a classical term, is a consists on a series of belief system, and some of these core belief system cannot be proved. Like one might believe in God, or some other might believe in divine light, or um, I don't know, some or that life is guided by angels or whatever. So those type of belief systems cannot be proved in the sense we are learning scientific method. So scientific method is based on, okay, I observe things in nature, and then I create hypotheses to explain how things are the way they are, how nature behaves the way it does. So this hypothesis can sometimes gives um, a certain room to predict outcomes. Like um, if I think the sun rises in the east because Earth is rotating from west to east, then I can make predictions on this type of hypothesis. So when I make predictions, I can go on and observe more, make more observations to see if these predictions are met with observations, with data. And if it is, so the hypothesis is good. And then we can keep improving and increasing the amount of data collected to the point that we can even create a theory if we have mathematic background constructed to support it. Now we have a theory made, and that theory can explain a bunch of things, can make a lot of predictions, and then we can observe more to see if the predictions are met with the new technology and new data. And that's how science works. So science is a process by which knowledge is always built, having nature as the last word on everything. If nature comes and say, hey, what you're saying is not met by this particular data, then we have either to improve the theory or just to crash down. Okay. Now, in astrology, can we apply the scientific method to astrology? Can we? I mean, based on the premises of astrology as configurations of planets cast some influence on babies and in human affair, can this be a viable scientific uh, uh, truth or a scientific system? And that's what I want to discuss to go through. I mean, you might start with something simple. Oh, I believe astrology does a pseudoscience because my priest told me that astrology is the devil thing. Okay, that's just an opinion, right? So I need
Yeah.
you to go from that opinion to something a little bit more elaborated based on what we are learning now as scientific method, basically. That's what I want to do. I don't want you to say that astrology is true or not, or is a religion, or a pseudoscience, or a science. Whatever you say, I want you to back up your statement. That's the main point. And then you
Okay.
can go in your colleagues and see which one got low grade, which one got big grades, and then you know exactly where I'm going.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I
that makes
understand.
sense?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Did
So,
you?
yeah,
Yes, I just submit the professor.
yes, I'm
I
here.
just submitted my writing, and I don't know because
Oh, the astrology
actually,
thing? Can I
yeah,
read
I
it?
just did. Yes.
Oh, 16. I just got you there. Oh my goodness. It's a big one. Let me see what you wrote.
Yeah.
As it is described from the assignment's prompt, astrology is a system based on the certain positions of blah, 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 and they are influencing people like yeah. To me, however, astrology is simply a science. Okay, so you're defining astrology as a science, and now you have to explain me why you say that, because science, as we are learning chapter one, is primarily based
Mm-hmm.
on the scientific method, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then you have a link here, probably described, is the intellectual and practical activity encompass the system study of the structure, behavior, physical, natural world through observation, experiments. Okay, good. That's okay. Okay. So you observe and you do experimentation to confirm or not your hypothesis. That's very good. In my own words, science is the studies and discovery of physical and natural objects to get to know what they are through observation and experiment. Okay, as history shows, astrology started, yeah, it got very strong in about 1500 BCE. It started earlier, as you said, at 3000, but it was not so important. It became part of the
Okay.
ruling system about 1500 BC. At that time, people didn't know
Mm.
Earth is very right, correct. Babylonian astrology only record five planets and Sun and the Moon. Yeah, so they had these five visible planets plus Sun and the Moon were the seven sacred planets, and that's why you have seven in so many
Yeah.
cultures, especially in religion. According to astrology, Babylonian astrology view astrology as a science, so they did. But again, they saw
Yeah.
astrology as a science, but today science has a completely different connotation, especially after Galileo Galilei. You gotta have experimentation. Every sort of a statement you make, like in astrology, planets are gods and the stars are gods. So can you test this? Can you prove this to be the case? We cannot.
Oh.
So based on
Mm.
that, if you read a book 3,000 years ago, they had a sense of science. Science for them is any process that would lead them to understand nature, and the experimentation was not a part of it. Like Galileo Galilei, he introduced experimentation as a part of what today we call scientific method. You have to do experimentation and you have to negate your hypothesis. For instance, I cannot negate if the planets are gods or not. Why can't I negate this hypothesis? Because I cannot prove it or disprove it if planets are gods. I cannot do that. I cannot prove or disprove if there is a God out there. So therefore, based on scientific method, even the notion of God is not scientific because I cannot prove it to be okay or disprove that is not okay. I cannot. So it could be religious, it could be pseudoscience, it could be anything, but not
Mm.
science as we think today, because the premises of astrology um, cannot be
Science. Yeah. Cannot prove. They
cannot
test
be
it.
tested. You said it all. It cannot be tested. How
Yeah.
can you test that? You cannot. Now
Oh, I
another thing
see.
is in
Uh-huh.
astrology, they believe that somehow planet's position influence you. Now, influence implies a cause and effect sort of a thing. Like you hit your hand on the table and you hear a sound. So there is a cause and effect process between hitting the table and hearing the sound. Now, what is the cause and effect relation between planet's position and controlling of people's affair? I mean, what sort of a force is this? What sort of an influence is this? Can you describe it? They cannot. How can they describe it?
Yeah.
I mean, stars are, as you
Okay.
learn in chapter one, stars are thousands of light years away. So how come a star, the moment you are born, it can give instant influence on people? They cannot, because the influence
Hmm.
of stars on us, which we know is light, takes thousands of years to arrive here. So how is that possible? unless you believe that there is some unseen things or God is operating some miracle, in which case it wouldn't be science but could be religion. And then you say, okay, astrology is a religion. I believe this is true. And then you establish a belief system. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I think I got. I mean, I understood the. I misunderstood about the between science and astrology because, as you just explained, I realized, yeah, it is not a scientific.
Right. Correct.
Ooh,
So yeah.
yeah.
So, but
Because
for now,
I thought,
listen.
yeah.
For now, I'm gonna give you a bad grade. You have to improve this. Okay, go back. Just a second. Go back
Well, at
to
least I
the
tried.
drawing board.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me save that. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
So you know what that is.
So, do you have any? Do you have any suggestion for me to fix this? Because
I think you just said it.
I,
You just said the word experiment. It's experimentation. You cannot test. I mean, it's science
uh,
as it was conceived science 3,000 years ago. Up to the Middle Ages. In Middle Ages,
mhm.
in Italy, in Europe in general, the word science, ciencia, was very important. But ciencia for them could be anything that, okay, they could, like in empirical laws. For instance, they thought they had in alchemy, they thought, for
Yes.
instance, that metals could be purified, and metals, certain types of metals, could be transformed in gold. And they did so much experimentation, uh, ex- experimenting with mercury, because it's chemistry. Chemistry was being developed in those days. Um, so science is part of experimentation. So you could go back and say, well, in the 14, 1500, they were doing science as we know. That's true. But um, in the way they were experimenting in those days, they also had this belief system that somehow the metals had some sort of a spiritual uh, connection, and the certain types of metals would be connected to certain parts of human bodies and to certain types of archangels and angels and so on, so on, so on, which makes, as we see it today, not so much scientific as we think today, but as science as they thought in those days. So why? Well, because I cannot see a metal connected to our angel or archangel, because I don't know what they are. I cannot bring and summons archangels to my laboratory to explain what they are. So you are not going to see in any scientific papers any element of knowledge that cannot be summoned to a laboratory, that cannot be proved to be um, part of a scientific endeavor as we think today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I am confusing between, yeah. So I'm reading my writing as well, and yeah, between just those between the parts of life, sometimes I messed up. I wanted to prove it's scientific, but in the meantime, I have the words that it's not scientific. Oh my god!
Oh,
So
look at
I'm
this.
I'm
Look at
like,
this sentence you
yeah.
wrote. Things that they believe might not be correct. So
See, yeah.
this word believe right here, is a word that should
Uh,
not be used in any scientific sort of a presentation. Because when you say I
yes.
believe, you are saying, well, that's my guess. That's a common sense. I have some intuition telling me that this is correct. But in science, you cannot rely on common sense or in belief systems. you have to be able to say, hey, I think this is the way it is because of such and such. And then you document and then you present something that supports your argument. You need to have that. If you don't
Okay.
have that, it's not scientific as we think today. It
Mhm.
could be scientific
Mm.
if you could put yourself living thousands of years ago, but right now it's not. So that's why when you see this word believe, I believe or I think, they are different in the scientific parlor. When you say I believe, you need to prove. You need to be a little bit more cautious. All right. Are you guys doing the extra credits?
I did. I did couple of them.
And about you,
Um,
Tuan, are you doing them too?
Not yet because it's on chapter two, but I'm gonna start doing it today.
Oh, okay. Remember these extra credits, they close quickly, right? So um,
So
yeah, so yeah, it's about the moon's phase. So if you get yourself on this understanding of moon's phase, which is it's simple, but you have to work on it. Then when you go to my
mhm.
talk on Friday, can you guys go to the talk on Friday?
I will.
Okay, so when you go to the talk on Friday, it's gonna make it even more simpler. So
Mm. Okay, but I did. Can I ask for the extra credit? I did last night.
yeah.
I did the moon phase simulator, which is allow only one attempt, right?
No, you can
But
you
the
can
moon
try as
phase,
many you can try as many times as you want, but the system will
no,
collect
for
the yeah.
the moon phase simulator, it's allow only one. You
Let me
allow
check.
us
It
to do
should
only.
allow a
Oh,
bunch.
I
Let
did.
me,
I did. Oh no, 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 no. I was wrong. I'm so sorry.
I think it
Yeah, I
allows
can
several
try
times,
again.
but
Yes,
it will collect the last attempt, the grade of the last
yes,
attempt. Because if you are not
yes.
certain what you did, you can always ask me and say, hey, what I did is right because I think this, and that, and then I can walk through with
Uh-huh.
you.
Oh, okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So I'm trying to finish all the extra credits
Yeah, you
by
should.
today. So I move
So let
on
me
to
see where
chapter three
let me see
because
where
I
you.
already did the homework for chapter two. But anyway,
Oh, here
Professor,
you are.
can I try
Is
to
that?
like do the homework as much as I can and the grade still get a high F one, right?
Wait a second. Let me see. Yeah, I think you got it all right. Yeah.
Because as you state here on the Moodle, the the final will be accumulated,
Yeah, you did it all
comprehensive.
right. You got them all okay. So you good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I tried a couple of times for each,
Yeah.
and I just want to study more, or I just want to do the quiz more because as you said during the orientation video,
Yes.
um, the final will have like comprehensive
Yes.
and
But you know it's gonna
will
be
have some.
based. It's gonna be based on. Let me see what it is. Orientation video. Wait a second. Tutoring learning. Um. Wait a second. Wait a second. I thought I had put a link to. Wait a second. The textbook, astronomy, picture of the day, syllabus. Oh, it didn't go through. Wait a minute. January 13. Azure Galaxies, astronomy love story, Nebraska simulation. Extra credit. Extra credit. Oh, it's not there. I thought I had to put a link to um, the quiz. that is good for final exam. It's not. I can't find it.
You told us to go to the book, the
Yeah,
ebook, and
yeah,
then look for the quiz.
yeah. Did I put there? I thought I had done that.
You did not, but if we can do that now our own by our own. Just try
Okay.
to log into non-company. You did it on
I did.
in
I
the
thought I had put it.
orientation video.
Oh, I
Yes,
yes, you are right. I put in the orientation video, but I almost
yes.
positive I had put a link um to that web page. No, I can't find it. I have to do that again. The Knowing Universe. Yeah, if you do a quick Norton
Yes, yes. I
understanding,
did it,
you did that
but
right?
I haven't
Yeah.
tried the
First
quiz. Yes,
edition. There you
I
go.
tried.
Yeah, and so you go here, and then you have your
Mm-hmm.
diagnostic quiz. There you go.
Chapters, and
Yeah,
then yes,
and then
yes.
you
So
can do
on
your
and so
quiz.
on.
Yeah, yeah. But I will put the link because not everybody is careful as you are. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. So you guys are fine. You guys are doing fine. Very good. I'm very happy.
Yes. So before we leave for today's class, could you please feedback on my writing?
Yes.
So what should I need to fix, and how and what should I do for that writing,
The
that
Astro
piece of
discussion.
writing?
Yeah. For
Yes,
The
yes,
Astro discussion, you need to
yes,
because you say it's science, but when you say it's science, you are thinking about science as it was thought 3,000 years or 4,000 years ago. You have to bring the
sure,
discussions to what we think science is today. And science today is based on the
yes.
scientific method, experimentation, everything you say should be
I
proved, should be
think
supported.
I think I have to revise my writing. Why it's not a
Just a little bit
scientific?
in key points. I mean, your first sentence
Because
is a killer. The first sentence it brought me white hair on my head, so that is not it. It probably be true if you read in the blog written by astrologers. They will try to tell you it's scientific, but it was scientific 5,000 years ago. As we think science today, it's not because you cannot prove their basic statements, and you can pretty much
oh, I can do that. Yeah.
yeah. So you fix that beginning, and take care of with the word believe when you say I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it, and try to bring the discussion to what scientific method is. And if you do it today by late afternoon, I will revise your work, and then I give another grade.
Yes, I try to do it today. I
Okay,
try to do it today, and
sounds
then
good.
yeah, because I thought that because I misunderstood, and I tried to prove it as science, but like later on it was not. So like I messed up writing. But well,
That's all good. That's all good.
yeah. And how long do you expect us to write a piece of writing
Oh,
like this?
yeah, don't write a lot. I mean, remember, I
Okay.
don't have time to read a bunch of stuff. I mean, if you can write a
Sure.
paragraph, 5, 6, 7 lines, that's good.
Uh huh.
And then now you
Oh.
grade it, and then you know what grade it is, and then you can edit. I mean, you have up to Sunday to do that, right? So the more you
Yes.
evolve, the better chances you have to get a better grade. That's the whole point.
Sure. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
All
So I'll
right,
try to have it done by today, and then please look at it again.
there you go.
And in the meantime, one more question. After video, the video for chapter, let me see. Let me. I look at my notes because one of the words I could not understand. I think chapter two,
Chapter 2. Okay.
the video. Yeah, chapter two, the video lectures. the minutes asked for 4 minutes 50 seconds. When you mentioned something daily motion,
Yeah,
I
daily.
just don't get it. What motion is
Oh,
that?
daily
Yeah,
motion. Let
what
me show you.
daily?
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Just a second.
What this name? What does the motion name? Daily something. I just don't get
Motion
the word. So
is when things appears to be moving and changing direction. That is what a motion is. So let me show you this.
yes,
Can you see this landscape?
yes.
Okay. So it's for January 6, 2016, and the time is 12:32, correct?
Uh huh.
So see these seconds here changing? It's
Yes,
changing one
I see
second
it.
every second. So, but you look in the sky, the
Mm-hmm.
sun seems to be in the same position, correct?
Yes.
But it's changing. And that
Mm.
changing of position we call daily or diurnal motion. And it is caused by
Yes.
Earth rotating the space from the western part to the eastern part. In fact, Earth is rotating from the right hand side of your computer to the left hand side of your computer. And as a result of this, we see everything in the sky going from the left hand side of your computer to the right hand side of your computer. And we
To the
call
right.
that data diurnal motion. So what I'm going to do now is a little tricky thing. I'm going to change the rate in which time flows so that it's going to be not 1 minute, 1 second every second, but it's going to be several minutes every second. So if I do this and I let the
Yes.
time flow, now you're going to see the data diurnal motion a little bit more apparent. You see that?
Yes. Yes.
So
I
this
see it.
so Orion is rising, it's reaching maximum
Uh
height, and
huh.
then it's gonna fall. So this type of motion is called daily or diurnal motion, and it's such that sky objects rise in the
Could
eastern
you?
sky. See that?
Can I stop you right here? Can I stop you right here? Yeah. The what
Wait a
you just said.
second. Yes,
Daily. Daily what? Daily what? And then
daily
motion.
or diurnal
I
motion. Yes. What about it?
I don't I don't got I can't still get that word daily or
Daily is let me spell that. Wait a second. How can I get out of here?
yeah could you
Okay,
please
here daily
I got the daily and but I just don't got the second word what is that
diurnal is the same thing as daily. It's the same thing as daily. Diurnal motion.
oh the you know
Diurnal
motion
motion
oh
is a
daily
motion that happens
okay
and can be perceived on a daily basis. So it's the same sense of daily. So every day,
all right
in fact, more in an hourly basis, you can see the sky objects changing as it goes.
yes yes I got it thank you all right professor thank you so much for
All
your
right.
time
Okay. Very good. Very
I
good.
this course is a lot to work for me because just I'm not good at math and those stuff. But well, thank you very much for the videos, very clear
Very good.
for the chance to help us make a test or a quiz or the homework many times. So
Yes.
we have time to learn and we can learn more about that. So
That's the whole
thank you so
point.
much.
That's the whole point.
Yes, it's very helpful. I will join you tomorrow noon.
Okay.
By yes, and by today I will revise my writing.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
All
Min
right.
Hun.
Thank you.
See you amanhã.
Yes.
See you amanhã.
See you. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bravo. Okay.